Hi, I think we're live. Good morning, Peter. How are you?
Good morning, Christian. Welcome and greetings from sunny East London today. So thanks for having me on the show and the webinar, and I very much look forward to it. So.
Yeah, it's been great. I think we've had some great discussions in the lead up to this. We've had several, what you guys are doing at Kiswe is really quite transformative. And I think this is you've got some great case studies to share with the audience today, and some great information which we've been talking about, which I think will help a lot of people. So welcome to SportWorks Talks. I'm going to hand over to Peter, and please enjoy this webinar. Good morning.
Thank you, Christian. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. My name is Peter Dunits, and I am the Senior Sales Manager for Kiswe Mobile. I'm based in London, England, and I'm responsible for our sales endeavors in Europe and EMEA. But before I speak about Kiswe and more importantly, CloudCast and how we can help rights holders and broadcasters create programs in this very difficult time, I wanted to share a personal story, because we're all in a very difficult situation, a difficult time, and we all have our own stories, and that's what SportWorks is really all about. It's a community of professionals, of sports people. It's internationally based, and I wanted to share my own personal story of my international experience, because not only do I have the pleasure to work in the international sports industry, but I've also had the great pleasure to play as an international athlete for England for the indoor box lacrosse program. And not only did I get to play, but I also I was the founder and administrator. And I wanted to share that story only because I know how much time and energy it takes to be part of a passion project, to be part of a national governing body, to be associated to an international federation, and to prepare and administer events, practices, facilities, all the hard work that goes into a quadrennial event, a Euro event, or an individual international World Cup event. So while we're not playing sport right now, it's a very difficult time, and it's a very difficult time to not have that distraction. And so I'm very, very pleased that I work in the technology industry for a fantastic company that can bring options and solutions to all of our working partners to create content and keep the wonderful story of live sport, or as live sport, going. So based on that, I think I'll dive into the presentation. So I'm just going to start here. I'm hoping everyone can see my screen. So I'm going to start. So obviously my name is Pete Dunits and I work for Kiswe. So who are Kiswe? Well, Kiswe are a technology company, and apologies, looks like we're not starting. And there we go. Apologies, they're a new technology and it's always fun to play with. So as I had mentioned, I work for Kiswe and Kiswe Mobile. Who are Kiswe? We are a technology company, an international technology company based in Murray Hill, New Jersey, with our head office there, with an office in London, a tech office and European head office based in Hasselt, Belgium. We also have a Southeast Asia office in Singapore, and a large office in Seoul, Korea, making us a truly global international technology company. And we focus on three main principles: localization, personalization, and social interaction. And it's all based on cloud-based remote production technology that can enable and assist with those three functions. So, but what I'm responsible for, and what I'd like to talk to you about before we get into how we can actually produce content and use archive content to create content in a time when there's no sport, I want to talk to you about CloudCast, the actual solution that all of our partners are using remotely, safely, and producing content. So CloudCast. Well, CloudCast is a software as a service-based production studio in the cloud. And the users use remote talent production crew to transform both live and archive talent, or broadcast, apologies, into custom streams distributed to multiple platforms, reaching and engaging and growing your audience. Kiswe has built an enterprise-grade, cloud-based digital production studio to create personalized content for higher audience engagement. And what do we mean by engagement? Well, a lot of our partners come to us, whether it be some of the biggest partners that we work with, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, whether it's Premier League Productions or the Olympic Channel, or whether it's World RCR or any international federation creating a new event, whether that's Mixed Martial Arts Federation, IMAF, they all have the same problem. There's two things that sports broadcasters and sports rights holders have: a declining, aging, eroding viewership, and how do we reach and engage with a younger audience? And that goes back to those three main principles that CloudCast and Kiswe, or Kiswe and CloudCast, stand for and can help with. It goes back to that localization, speaking in someone's language, and seeing a person in view, picture-in-person view, is 4 times more engaging. Social localization is key to have to more engagement. Also, the other way is personalization. We all have a mobile phone, we all watch TV cross-platform, and we all engage in different ways for a different amount of times on our own chosen ways. So TV right now is pushed out to all those 4 cross-platforms. Well, my 15-year-old nephew in Canada completely watches the NBA through different methods than I would watch the NBA here in the UK. And he's definitely mobile first. And those are the things that Kiswe focus on, and we've actually come up with ways to integrate that into your live productions so that it's localized, personalized, and even brings in social interaction, a lean-in experience. Before I get into the examples, I just maybe wanted to show the architecture, because it's extremely simple, and anyone can be a producer, a caster, or a contributor to a live or as live production. And as you can see on the screen, it's a very simple architecture. What we do with CloudCast is, first and foremost, it's a web-based Google Chrome, CloudCast enabled. You have to have an account to log into, but then you're part of the live production. And when I say live, for this purpose, we always use a live RTMP target, but obviously with archive games, there's an option to upload it or FTPS to us as a file, or replay it again live as an RTMP target into the Kiswe cloud. And from the Kiswe cloud, a remote producer can help produce the event, be part of the event, speak to the talent in the event, and the talent can be based anywhere in the world and be part of the 100% real-time conversation of watching the event and commenting on the event in a real-time conversation. And that's done by the magic of Kiswe's cloud, and it's done by the magic of our synchronization that we have been working very hard for the past 5 to 6 years. From the cloud, there's a mix of both the contributors' audio and video, and that's mixed to the actual program. And then once completed, it has, by definition, 3 options to be sent out to. So we can send to your owned and operated channels. We can send out to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, or back to your own MCR if you want to have complete quality control to have the shows edited and refit, topped and tailed as a 26-minute commercial half hour, shall we say. I'm going to go back to the previous slide because I want to show an example of how rights holders are exactly using ways for localization, personalization, and social media or social interaction. So I'm going to start with a clip here Give me 1 second as I pull it up. This is an NBA League Pass, one of our premium examples. They use CloudCast on a nightly basis. And I wanted to show you an example of using social media influencers as commentators to reach and engage with a younger audience. So I'm going to start the video. I hope you can see it.
Oh, you got to shoot it.
They got to shoot it. Wow. No foul. Get back on D. Don't complain. You got to get back on D. Steph's going to hit that three.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
That was unbelievable, but totally believable for Steph.
So there you saw a fantastic example of the social media influencers commentating live in real time, remotely, safely from their basements or their home studio, and being part of a fantastic live NBA experience that's pushed out to NBA League Pass. And I think it's really, really interesting to see the finished product, because obviously in live sport, the live game is first and foremost, and so you get the dominant view of the live RTMP production from here. I believe it's Turner, but everything else is done in CloudCast here. All of the graphic overlays, all of the boxes are all completely customized, and it's a very strong and powerful tool of acquiring new subscribers via social media amplification. So. I'm going to continue on, because it's really great to show these premium rights holders experiences, and we work with quite a few of them internationally, and it's a real pleasure and a fantastic way to work with rights holders. But I'm also very acutely aware that rights holders of the tier 2 and downward sports, like myself and lacrosse, don't really ever get a chance to be on television, and I also don't have a huge, say, social media and digital team and production team to assist in creating personalized, localized, and engaging content. And that's where CloudCast really plays a huge part of bringing that remote production cloud-based technology and opening it up to everyone via the internet and via our platform. And so I wanted to share with you an example of Professional Fighters League, who are a mixed martial arts federation out of USA, where they came to us using CloudCast as they wanted to grow their international audience by bringing in localized content, simply adding another language, and then also using ex-referees and fighters to create a real live engaging experience over on top of the actual fighting itself. So what you can see here from the graphs, it's quite remarkable actually. In the Spanish-speaking audiences that we pushed to Facebook Live, we increased the Spanish-speaking audience by 70% in 1 year. And what's really important to note is that there was no cannibalization of the English-speaking language fans and customers for PFL. So what we had is a net new audience, and that's something everybody's looking for sure, as an international federation or a national governing body putting out content to all its members and fans and super fans. So I'm just going to run a clip to show how CloudCast works there as well. Bear with me as I bring that up.
Round number 2, at least with the striking, we've seen the takedown by Grisham, and that, once again, that could make the difference of the round, just like round number 1, guys.
Well, in that takedown, he shot it from 5 feet away. No chance of getting it, but at least he was putting in the effort to be aggressive with it.
Spinning back fist misses. 10 seconds left. Once again, it's going to come down to scorecards. And Lance Palmer has to knock himself out, so take it away, Lance. Go for it. You've seen.
So I hope everyone saw that, but I think it's, again, a fantastic example of CloudCast for remote production capabilities. As you saw, it's almost like a Twitch experience where we have a four-way casters on the side of the side. We call that the L frame, and they're engaged in a real-time conversation while they're seeing and watching the actual fights again in real time. And I think it's a really powerful message when you can actually have that real-time conversation. And even at the end, you can see, I believe it was Cyrus, who here we have an ex-referee, two ex-fighters, and a professional commentator engaging and actually punching each other out on screen. Another thing that I wanted to point out that's really interesting on this is that each of those casters are in different parts of the world, speaking in real time within CloudCast. So the referee on the top was from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Cyrus was, I believe, in Wisconsin. And the two other gentlemen at the bottom, I think, were in Michigan and New York State. All, again, using CloudCast to commentate live in a real-time production. So, and again, going back to examples that are more relevant for non-premium rights holders, i.e. not the NBA, not the Premier League, not the Olympics. I wanted to show a fantastic case study and an example of how we helped CrossFit Games for their international world championships take one production feed, that host production feed, and we open sourced it using CloudCast to all of its members, fans, athletes internationally. And through that, and using CloudCast, we created 28 different net new live experiences for their world championships. And I think that's hugely important and really, really relevant for any international federation or national governing body, because again, it's not going on TV. You'll never get that chance to go on TV. You have to build the numbers first. And where do we build those numbers? Well, we need distribution, and digital distribution is an absolutely fantastic tool to reach every demographic you're trying to hit. And how do we achieve that? Local languages. Obviously, we created, I think, 13 different local language versions from Mexico, Brazil, Germany, France, Middle East, Russia, Iceland, Australia. But not only that, I want to point out one really exciting example is that we also open sourced it to be available to anyone. And one of the endemic sponsors, an endemic sponsor, picked up the feed and created its own branded version of the CrossFit Games, and it was Rogue. Rogue is an endemic sponsor to CrossFit, as it creates all of the workout gyms and equipment used in CrossFit. And what a fantastic example of a new revenue stream, and B, having a partner be associated to a localized production or an international production. For a brand to be associated to live content is definitely something that is a new revenue model for all international federations to tell a more localized story and use those local assets to gain new revenues. So a fantastic example. I just wanted to show you a clip of all the different users and how it was used.
A maioria das regras é na estrutura metálica, você só não pode bater na corda.
Comment préserver le suspense, comment permettre aussi des changements dans le leaderboard et pas des situations trop figées.
Estar intensísimo, frenético, como tú has dicho.
Frenético, sí.
¿No?
Como...
So there you had an Italian version, multiple language versions, a really, really fantastic way of distributing content to your owned and operated channels, and then out to the different destinations that you can build a digital audience, i.e. Facebook Live and YouTube. And what's really important to stress here is that we managed to double the digital audience compared to last year's production for CrossFit Games, to over 2 million views for aggregate views for the CrossFit World Games. And we continue to work with them, and we'll be working with them again this year, all being well, with live events going back to being live under the new norm. Godspeed. Speaking of that, before I get into how we actually create content using Archive, which is the theme of the title of this presentation, I wanted to share with you a fantastic, very new and groundbreaking example that Kiswe's remote production technology via CloudCast created. This weekend, our European team and Kiswe at CloudCast as a team internationally partnered with the good peoples of Flanders Classic, VRT Sporza, and the online virtual cycling tool and platform called Be Cool. And it was a revolutionary and groundbreaking example, because what we did is created a complete virtual combination with esports and real riders competing in a real event in a virtual landscape, all produced remotely via CloudCast. So it was an hour-long episode. It went live across the world, hosted and produced by Sporza VRT, distributed internationally by the EBU, and I myself watched it on Eurosport, British Eurosport via the Eurosport player. And it was a really proud moment for me to be associated to CloudCast and Kiswe, like the greater Kiswe team, as we created a virtual live event that went live to TV. So we were back playing sport this weekend, and it was a groundbreaking and new experience. Now, I'm going to try and play a clip here. Apologies if it doesn't come up. If it does, I'm happy to share it with everyone. Please have a dig through our social media if it doesn't, but we are having some problems with the actual clip. It doesn't seem to have been loaded, so I would love to maybe share my screen at the same token to show it. Apologies, Christian. Are you handy to try and help?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, no problem. Let me see if we can do a screen share on your use the top member button. If you've got the video playing, you've got the screen share at the top there. You should have control.
Gotcha. Can everyone see that video?
It's coming through well. No audio. Oh, back to the.
Apologies, I'm not sure if anyone got to see that, but Christian, are you there?
Peter. So yeah, we saw bits of that. I think what we can do, certainly as you mentioned, we can share the links for all of the clips that you've got available after the podcast as part of the links. So no problem.
Apologies, that was just hot off the press as we're frantically working to create that. I will send the links, and let's jump back into the presentation and take it from there for sure. Okay, apologies of not getting that clip out, but let's jump into the real meat and potatoes of what we wanted to talk about today. And I hope you guys are intrigued, and I look forward to speaking and taking on some questions both here on the platform and anytime on email or otherwise. But we're in a very interesting time here, and one thing is for sure with the new norm of how we're working due to coronavirus is that everybody is working remotely from home. As I speak to you from my kitchen here, and you know, we've had all of our partners and other rights holders and even international broadcasters come to us with a problem saying, you know, we don't have live sport to fill our schedules anymore. Well, Kiswe and CloudCast has come up with a solution of using everybody's archives that are sitting there idle, that we all have a huge wealth and abundance of, and taking those archive games, those events, matches, and using your talent remotely via CloudCast and bringing in a new reinvigorated version of that game using remote casters and commentators that can be athletes, ex-athletes, social media influencers, brand ambassadors, bringing a whole new live experience to an archive game, retelling a story from a different point of view and a different angle. And I wanted to share with you exactly that. This is how we're helping. Everybody has a wealth of archive content, and there's no more live sport going on. So let me show you an example of how simple and easy it's done via CloudCast. And I would love to be able to help any rights holder create new, fantastic, and engaging content using this exact methodology. So on this screen, it's very simple. What you see is the actual output of the game. In this instance, it's Major League Soccer Classic Remix. So that's an archive game of LA Galaxy versus LAFC. And here we have on the left-hand side 4 remote commentators and their actual players who played in that game, retelling that story, how they felt, how they prepared for it, what they were going through, and all the emotions of that fantastic live sport experience. So I'm going to play a clip here because it's very easy. Seeing is believing, absolutely, for all those options. And I would love to show it. And apologies, that is not loaded to the actual platform here again, Christian. So I'm going to move on to the next slide and try and bring that up. Apologies to everybody out there. But again, maybe I could. I'm going to share my screen one last time to help everyone do that, because it's my one example of all the different rights holders we're working with, and we are working with several international major rights holders and even international federations looking to use their wealth of archive to create new and engaging experiences via CloudCast and build and help build and can help continue to tell that story while there's no sport being played. So I'm going to share my screen one last time. Again, I hope everyone saw that example, and we're happy to share other links to fantastic other examples that we have worked with as well. I'm going to get back into the presentation here. So again, it's a really easy, safe, simple solution that Kiswe and our partners have come up with, and it's 100% remote production friendly. So we are extremely well placed to hit the ground running to support you guys with your extensive archive, your idle talent, your idle commentators, to create new and engaging experiences as live experiences using CloudCast. So that is what I wanted to present. I would love to take on some questions from any rights holder or producer or any federation that wants to try and understand greater how we do this, and talk about any other examples as well too. So thank you for listening and watching.
Great. Thanks so much, Peter. Great presentation. I always enjoy working through, and sorry about the apologies to all for the videos not playing back today. We will reshare those links post-event, no problem at all. And I really encourage you to have a quick look through them, because they really do demonstrate very quickly what Peter's been talking about today. So I noticed we've got a question there in the chat. From Michelle. Peter, I believe that many sporting events are likely to follow this new technology, and this is excellent as your research demonstrates. How can this technology take advantage of, explore and maximize marketing strategies, particularly those related to sponsorship? That's a good question.
Fantastic question. Happy to answer, and we're entering a new way of working and a new way of creating content, both live and as live, and also via CloudCast and remote production. And so one of the things that we can do, and I'll share some examples afterwards as well too in a follow-up email, so please do get in contact. But CloudCast creates localization. So the whole lower thirds, the whole screen that you see is completely custom, open to customization. So we can bring in something I haven't showed in any of the examples, tweets brought to you by a local sponsor, tweets brought to you by a national sponsor, opening up a whole new arsenal of assets that you can help commercialize and create from a local level to a national level and to an international level as well too. And so that's what it's really about, creating a local experience, a personalized experience, and bringing in a sponsor that can be involved with that live experience as well too, which many international federations have that capability, because by definition, a lot of our media deals are non-exclusive, because we're trying to build a brand and build an audience. So it's a huge, fantastic new opportunity to create content with sponsors. So I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to follow up to that. In terms of technology, you've kind of given it a great introduction to the platform. I'm a technologist, so I get it and I love it. I think it's really cool. But on a very simple level, is it hard to operate? Is it easy for people to use? I mean, I know we talked briefly about this, but...
Yeah, well, great question.
Interruption. Go
I'm lucky to be associated with the fantastic engineers and technologists at Kiswe. And the great news for everybody out there is that you don't need to be an engineer or a production engineer to use CloudCast. It's very simple, the requirements. You need a laptop, fixed internet, earphones, and a CloudCast account to become either a producer or just a caster. So the producer version I can share on a different deck is obviously quite more extensive, and it's basically a production studio in the cloud. And any producer out there, please get in contact, because we can get you set up on a demo and using the platform right away. But it's extremely intuitive. Every producer or anyone that's been involved in live sport before, when they see it, they get it, they want to play with it. And on the flip side, if you're a contributor or a caster or as an athlete or as a talent, you get a very simplified version where you just, very similar to the technology we're using today, is you just get a version that you can see and interact on and see in real-time conversation, the actual live event, and commentate. And there's a few things there. There's a cough button, a swear button, and obviously some producer 4-wire for people to communicate a text chat. Very similar to the technology we're using today. So it's simple, easy, and available, and more importantly, it's safe and remote production available to you right now, and that's the way the world's going to have to work. So super relevant and unfortunate, and I understand everyone's in a tough situation, but Kiswe and CloudCast are well positioned to help. So please do get in contact.
That's great. Okay, are there any other questions before we wrap up? We're just on time now. I want to say big thank you, Peter. Thank you for sharing your experience. The case studies always help really keep it in perspective. And obviously you coming from a sporting background really gives it a great context, and having, understanding all the different layers to our sport industry and how it can help in different ways. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the people listening.
Equally, I'd love to say thank you. I'm a proud member of the SportWorks family and the greater international sports community. So if I can help in any way, shape, or form, would love to hear from you. And so based on that, stay safe, well, sane, and healthy out there, and hope to speak soon. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Peter. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Cheers.
Bye.